Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Bitcoin's about to retest $100,000. Ether just broke 4,000. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. Breaking news just in: Florida may introduce the Bitcoin Reserve in 2025, leveraging its $185 billion pension fund and budget surplus to allocate billions into crypto-related assets. Game theory, family. It's time. Also breaking news, the Czech Republic, enacted a new law eliminating capital gains tax on Bitcoin held more than 3 years. HODL, be thy name. We'll also be discussing BlackRock and Marathon Holdings whale by nearly 10,000 Bitcoin as the price retreats. Also, we'll be discussing MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor pitching to the Microsoft board twice, and the big announcement is going to be coming up here soon. We'll also be discussing Michael Saylor says, I'm sure I'll be buying Bitcoin at $1 million per coin, because that's what Giga Chads do. We'll also be discussing Trump names ex-PayPal COO David Sachs as the AI and crypto czar. That's right. Also, $7 trillion Charles Schwab says Bitcoin is going to $1 million per coin once Trump establishes the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, fam, plus so much more right here in today's show. If you're not already subscribed, it's very important. Smash the subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, 7 days a week. Just like this, there's a special podcast. It's pod episode 1840. I'm your host, JV. It's December 6, 2024. Bitcoin is looking to retest 100,000. We already broke above and beyond, soaring to 104,000, which we captured live during our live stream for the Pump Watch. 108,000 target in play. It looks like we'll be retesting 100,000 during today's live stream. Welcome, everyone just joining us. Let's kick it off with our market watch. As you can see, Coin 360 on your screen. Ether surpassed 4,000, currently sitting on the cusp of it, up 2.5% on the day. We haven't seen a price action of ETH that high. I think it's been years, broskies. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just feel like it's been a very long time. Maybe earlier in the year, potentially. I don't recall. But anyways, we have Bitcoin currently above 99.5. We have BNB barely in the green as the majority of the alts are correcting and in the red. We can all thank the Hawk2 girl. But anyways, wow. On CoinMarketCap, they actually have a special $100,000 icon. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. That's kind of cool in the top left there. But yeah, it's a big celebratory victory for the broskies here. The crypto market cap, let me refresh this mofo, is currently 3.64 trillion. This is amongst the highest we have ever seen it. The Bitcoin market cap is fast approaching 2 trillion, which we achieved the other day when we eclipsed the 100K target, touching 104 on Coinbase. We have 300 billion in volume the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance on the decline at 54.1%. Ether dominance back on the climb at 13.2%. Checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. We got BitGet token up 25%, DYDX up 23%, and Athena up 13%. Which alts, if any, are you bullish on for the bull? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles, we got a visual perspective on the day. This is the tail of the tape. I mean, I like the visual perspective. That's why we use this. Yeah, I'd say 70% of the market in the red today, 30% in the green. And zooming out on the monthly, yeah, virtually everything up. And most of them up hundreds of percent. You can't make this ish up. HBAR, 500%. CRV, 350%. Cardano, 237%. Sandbox, 263%. Jesus. XLM, 400%. Insane gainers for the past month. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're no longer in extreme greed. That's a good sign. We're in greed at a 72, yesterday an 84, last week a 78, and last month a 70 in greed. And checking out the infamous time chain calendar, we have 176,473 blocks into the next halving of 2028, and we're currently on block number 873,527, and you can currently exchange $1 for just above 1,000 sats. At today's rate, it's 1,006 sats per dollar. That's right. That means Bitcoin is fungible. 1 Bitcoin can be divided by 100 million Satoshis. And some of y'all who are new especially may not know this. So let me break this down for you. It's irrelevant what the Bitcoin fiat value equivalent is at this time. Obviously, it moves by the second or millisecond, as you can see on your screen. But here's the bigger picture. You can acquire any amount of Bitcoin. You don't have to be a high net worth individual in order to buy Bitcoin. You don't need 100,000 sitting in the bank account. In fact, we make fun of those who sit with large sums of money in the bank. What do we call them, folks? You already know. So just note, if you had $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever, don't matter. The amount's irrelevant. You can buy Bitcoin right now. You can buy Satoshis. Again, you can get 1,006 sats per US dollar. Stack them sats accordingly. Everyone here, bare minimum, should be, at this very moment, a Satoshi millionaire. Can someone run the math? It maybe costs approximately 1,000, give or take. If someone can run the exact math, that'll be helpful. But let me know. It's very inexpensive, and everyone here should be a Satoshi millionaire and bare minimal saving in Bitcoin, because that's what it is. It's the ultimate savings vehicle, mathematically guaranteed to increase your purchasing power against the dwindling power of the dollar, as we've been experiencing over the past 16 years. That's a fact, Jack. And that's a blackjack. Amen. But let's dive right into today's technical analysis. We haven't really got any time to waste. This headline reads, Bitcoin price metric bearish since October, warns analysts amid a 10,000 dippy dip. That's right. Bitcoin could well make further gains in the bull market. Obviously, I have my targets, which I share with you all the time on the sticky notes. Bitcoin has hit new all-time highs in the face of deteriorating liquidity backdrop, according to this analyst who wrote here, if conditions worsen, the rally, while euphoric, can only last for a limited time. And number two, if conditions ease from here, then a pullback is warranted, but then off we go again. His findings came amid the flash intraday volatility of Bitcoin printing the Darth Maul candle. Where's Darth Meld at? And wiped out hundreds of millions of dollars of both longs and short positions in a snap 10,000 correction. That does happen. Mass liquidations across the board. Be very, very careful of trading with leverage. I can't stress that one enough. As Tony the Bull shared here, the 11,000 Darth Maul in the Bitcoin daily chart. But where my Bitcoin Jedi is at, we got to fight that. Here we go. The macro and liquidity dashboard shows unequivocally sustained bearish momentum for the most metrics. Quoting them here, this is not a panic moment. It's a warning. In these environments, Bitcoin posts its porous returns. They also share here the MSI indicator turned bearish mid-October, but the Trump election win has rightly spurred the strong rally. All praises to Trump. He took full credit yesterday on social media. We shared that. He said, congratulations, Bitcoin broskies. Well done. Thank me later. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. Similarly, the model last went bearish in February when the ETF launch and flows kept Bitcoin buoyant for another month, kept it afloat. However, a persistent bearish liquidity backdrop eventually caught up, as outlined here, So the Bitcoin bulls need a weaker dollar. Well, guess what? I think we're in for a treat. The dollar's guaranteed to get weaker as they continue to go money printer go purr. And you already know the US dollar index, the DXY, hit the highest level since November of 2022 last month. Something Couts hopes will remain a fake breakout. We all know it's fake. Come on now. Quoting him here. However, if it retakes that pivot high, we would likely see a very sharp pullback across all assets. It is not my base case, but it is something to be hyper aware of. And in breaking news, this is a pretty big deal. Let's go Florida. They may introduce a Bitcoin reserve next year, leveraging a $185 billion pension fund and budget surplus to allocate billions of dollars into crypto-related assets such as Bitcoin. So let's go. Florida for the win. Can't wait. And also major news we'll get into here deeper in a moment, but the Czech Republic enacted a new law eliminating all capital gains tax on the bitty held for more than 3 years. What is that going to do? It's going to encourage more hodlers. So that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Next story. This is a big deal. Czech Republic. I hope many other countries do the same thing. You can see the excitement in his face. You don't even got to watch the video. Look how excited this man is in the Czech Republic that there's zero capital gains on Bitcoin. I mean, that speaks volumes and of it itself. But yeah, let's break this latest development down. Czech Republic, country in Europe, made a significant legislative decision, smart move, regarding crypto taxation. Notably, the country's parliament unanimously agreed to exempt Bitcoin held more than 3 years from capital gains tax. What is that going to do? Make people hodl for at least 3 years. Come on, Trump, you should do the same freaking thing. One of the new regulations is Bitcoin will now be taxed like profits from stocks. This means capital gains from trading Bitcoin will remain tax-free if the crypto is held for at least 3 years. Easy peasy. Everyone who holds Bitcoin by default needs to hodl by 4 years to guarantee the victory, because everyone who hodls for 4 years or longer is in the green. In fact, I'll push it a step further. I encourage everyone to hodl at least 2 cycles, 8 years, because you're pretty much guaranteed a zero at the end of that number. This change can encourage the long-term investments in Bitcoin to make the Czech Republic particularly attractive for the Bitcoin hodlers. Secondly, the local Bitcoin businesses now have the right to a bank account. Bingo. Banks can no longer discriminate against them. Amen. Hallelujah. Do you hear that, Jamie Dimon? Lastly, there's legal clarity on the MiCA regulation, which is the new vast EU-wide crypto regulation. By exempting Bitcoin held for over 3 years from capital gains tax, the Czech Republic aims to be the leader of the digital age. This bold, forward-thinking policy is designed to appeal to the tech-savvy, entrepreneurial youth, the Gen Z, who are already driving the adoption of the crypto and the blockchain tech. Let's go, Czech. Their republic's exemption of the Bitcoin holding period could boost local crypto market. I mean, it's common sense. It's making it very favorable to be there. This could lead to increased stability and growth and within the market, as well as the greater participation for both domestic and international investors. The Czech Republic's decision reflects a broader recognition of the importance of crypto in the global financial landscape. For regulatory framework that support their development, the Czech capital is often secretly referred to as the Bitcoin capital of Europe. And also we got Prague, my apologies, has already established itself as the cradle of Bitcoin innovation in the past. So from the cradle to the grave, there you have it. Europe for the win. We need that. Down with the BBC, and let's go Czech Republic. Let's go Prague. More favorable crypto adoption. That's what it's all about, gentlemen, as the game theory continues in full effect. Let's continue with the news. Still a lot to share, as we always do. Here's the latest with the asset management giants and their accumulation of the biddy. Headline reads, BlackRock and Mara Holdings whale by nearly 10,000 more Bitcoin as the price retreats. That's a blackjack. That's a BTFD by the dip opportunity family. So yeah, BlackRock and Marathon Holdings bought a combined 9,173 biddy, while an unknown whale scooped up 600 of the biddy, as Bitcoin scooped all the way down to 93,000 practically. BlackRock bought a whopping 7,750 Bitcoin as buyers scooped up shares of the Bitcoin ETF, taking the firm's total Bitcoin holdings to roughly 49 billion at the current prices. And we were just celebrating them hitting 50 billion the other day when Bitcoin was at 104,000. Pretty wild. Fastest growing ETF of all time, said Thomas Farrer, founder of the crypto market firm Apollo, which tracks the spot Bitcoin ETF market, as he outlined right here. And also keep in mind, the gold ETF been live since 19 years. And Bitcoin just achieved in virtually 11 months what took the gold ETF to do 19 years. Unprecedented inflows, family. So you already know what that means. Institutional FOMO, like a mofo, as I say. Meanwhile, Bitcoin miner Mara Hodlings bought 1,423 of the biddy, worth 140 million across 4 transactions on December 5th and the 6th, according to blockchain analytics firm Look On Chain. The Bitcoin purchases followed the closing of Mara's second 850 million convertible note offering, which is said would use to accumulate more of the biddy. Marathon now holds 22,108 Bitcoin, worth $2 billion. Arcam shows it marks a massive 162% increase from the first time last month. In the third quarter, Marathon shifted to a new treasury policy to retain all Bitcoin it mines and adopt a range of market capital instruments to bolster the Bitcoin reserves, similar to the Saylor put MicroStrategy's Bitcoin playbook. Meanwhile, an anonymous crypto whale seems to have also taken advantage of the Bitcoin price slump yesterday, snaring 600 Bitcoins worth almost 60 million. Look On Chain noted, no Bitcoin was held in the wallet address BC1PQ until the first transaction November 24th, according to the data. And just a day earlier, healthcare tech firm Semler Scientific also bought 303 Bitcoin for 96,000 each, December 4th, several hours before Bitcoin surpassed the 100,000 milestone, hitting the new current all-time high of 104,000. The firm's latest purchase increases Bitcoin holdings to 1,873 Bitcoin, worth 183 million. Bitcoin stacking firms like Saylor Scientific hold a combined 527,000 Bitcoin, representing almost 3% of the Bitcoin current supply, according to 67 public firms tracked by Bitcoin treasuries. Meanwhile, governments around the world hold almost 3,000 Bitcoin, while asset management firms and private firms hold 1,253 Bitcoin and 410,000 Bitcoin, respectively. So there you have it. Next story of the day. Here's the latest with Microsoft. Michael Saylor, in the past maybe week, gave 2 presentations to the Microsoft shareholders, and it's supposed to be a big announcement. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the 10th. We're about to get into it, so we'll get all the details here. So, yeah, Michael Saylor doing big things. Shout out to the Giga Chad himself. There's no second best. It's going up forever, Laura. So, yeah, the Bitcoin evangelist. I like that term. Attempted to explain why the tech giant should adopt Bitcoin, which currently has a near market cap of $2 billion. Obviously, they made an error. 2 trillion, gentlemen, obviously. But in the presentation, Saylor mentioned Microsoft could not afford to miss out on the next technology wave. The billionaire mentioned that Bitcoin represents the greatest digital transformation of the 21st century. Let me know if you agree with Michael. And as of now, Bitcoin is the 6th biggest asset by market cap in the world. It's now on track to surpass Alphabet, the parent company of the tech giant Google. And according to Saylor, digital capital, which Bitcoin represents, is economically and technically superior to physical capital. He claimed Bitcoin represents a revolutionary advance in capital preservation. Quoting Saylor here, "It makes sense for Microsoft to be powered by digital capital." Let me know if you agree. He explained that Bitcoin is the highest performing uncorrelated asset that a corporation can possibly hold on the balance sheet. Even though a lot of companies opt for performing stock buybacks, Saylor believes that it makes sense to just buy Bitcoin instead of these companies if these companies want to outperform the broader market. Saylor has pointed to the fact that MicroStrategy managed to outpace every single stock in the S&P 500. The MicroStrategy stock is up a staggering almost 500% year to date. So that's pretty wild. And he was making the rounds on the news as well. And he recently also just shared, "I am sure I will be buying Bitcoin at $1 million per coin." Why is that? He knows it's going up forever, Laura. So he's just going to continue to buy. And speaking of buy, Biden, and buy, Kamala, Trumpster for the win. That's all I got to say.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number 1. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura.
Now let's discuss the crypto czar, shall we? Trump names ex-PayPal COO David Sachs as AI and crypto czar. There's a lot of controversy around this. Let me know first and foremost, and please be transparent. Have you ever heard of the name David Sachs prior to Trump naming him as the COO or the crypto czar, as they say? Let me know. I'll be genuine. I've never heard of the guy before until now. So let's break it down. U.S. President Trump named former PayPal operating chief and now podcaster David Sachs. Well, the word PayPal doesn't resonate good with me. I look at PayPal as evil, dark forces. So it's not off to a good start, David. Sorry, but as his lead policy advisor on AI and crypto. David Sachs will be the White House AI and crypto czar, Trump wrote on the December 6th post on his social media platform, Truth Social, citing 2 areas that he called critical to the future of American competitiveness. Quoting Trump here, "He will work on a legal framework so the crypto industry has the clarity it has been asking for and can thrive in the U.S." So, judging a book by the cover, again, I'd never heard of the guy, and this is all new news to me. I'm just telling you how I feel. PayPal, again, forces of evil. And I'm already assuming this is going to be a shitcoiner crypto czar, hence why it's not a Bitcoin czar, but it's crypto czar. But before I judge the book, let me read a little further. Part of Sachs' role will be to safeguard online speech. I like that part. And steer us away from big tech bias and censorship. I like that part as well. He added Sachs will also lead the Presidential Council of Advisors for Science and Technology. I don't know about all that. Presidential Council for Science and Technology. Is he just that fucking talented? He's an expert on crypto and science and tech. Now I'm a little skeptical. A little bit. Sachs was early executive payment giant of PayPal and co-founded the business social network Yammer. Never heard of it. Which Microsoft bought for $1.2 billion. Interesting. That was in 2012. He is more recently known for co-hosting the business focus All In podcast. Okay. And co-founding venture capital firm Craft Ventures. So he has his hands in crypto, right? Okay. Trump's appointment of Sachs shows the president-elect's team is rewarding high-profile business leaders. I don't know if that's a good thing. Who supported his campaign? But obviously, favor for a favor. It all started from The Godfather. Sachs has been a major Trump backer this year, hosting a campaign fundraiser, collecting $12 million. Trump strongly embraced the crypto industry, as we know, in his campaign with promises to make the U.S. world a capital of crypto, which in turn saw him garner millions of dollars back into the industry execs. He appointed other pro-crypto backers like Elon as advisory roles, and even Paul Atkins, which we broke the story yesterday, to the chairman of the SEC, which industry executives hope will stem the agency's enforcement actions against crypto. Meanwhile, a meme coin promoted by Sachs earlier this year features his name jump 16,000% to a new high in hours after the Trump post. Welcome to shitcoinery. But yeah, that's very, very interesting. Again, I'm not going to judge him based upon his past, but it is interesting. He was an executive, an early guy in PayPal. Yeah, I mean, I've always despised PayPal. Me and PayPal don't mix together well, if you haven't figured that one out. But I'm not going to get into that right now. Just never been a fan of PayPal. Let's just say pay ain't my pal. Just like the Jizza said in Liquid Swords, Tommy ain't my motherfucking boy. Tommy Boy Records. Let's just say pay is not my pal and leave it at that. But we'll judge him by the job he does. Fair play? We got a crypto czar. A big Solana meme coin guy, apparently. I wonder if he was invested into the Haktua launch. That would have been interesting. Now for our feature story of the day. $7 trillion Charles Schwab says Bitcoin is going to $1 million once Trump establishes the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, which we know is in play. In fact, this lady from Charles Schwab went out and just made the prediction. I watched it right before I went live. It's the headline of today's stream. It's our featured story. She straight up says they're anticipating Bitcoin going from $500,000 to $1 million once Trump establishes the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. Does that sound familiar? Let me read some other recent headlines. Bitcoin's road to 1 million, the seventh wonder of the financial world, makes history. That's right. We tapped $104,000 all-time high 2 days ago, right here, live on our stream. We witnessed history in the making. We captured it. There's no looking back, broskies. Also, we have the Bitcoin OG. I'll read you this headline. This was probably a month ago. U.S. Bitcoin Reserve during Trump presidency could pump BTC to $1 million. Now, Adam Back, I respect. Why? He's a Bitcoin OG. He's the creator of the Hashcash. Satoshi used a part of the technology Adam Back created to create the Bitcoin. Clearly he knows his ish. So if you have all these major companies and Bitcoin OGs, including Samson Mao, we covered it yesterday, projecting Bitcoin to hit $1 million with a Trump presidency. You even have your boy, you're looking at him right now, JV. I'm calling for 1.1 million Bitcoin. Granted, that's the bull scenario, but nonetheless, it's in play if Trump does what he says he is going to do. Let me know if you guys agree. My bear scenario is a modest 250. 420 is the base case because you got to have a base case, and JV is based 420 all day with the biddy. But let's dive a little deeper into the story. Let me know if you saw this interview. It's maybe 3 minutes. You could check it out on X, of course, but nonetheless, I'll get into some of the details here with Trump. So yeah, I'm going to use the Adam Back story because Adam Back is the man. A Bitcoin-related bill is gaining support in the U.S., and that's thanks to Cynthia Lummis. We're talking about the Bitcoin bill, which can send Bitcoin soaring to $1 million. Now, when this article was published, it was before I think Trump even won. Actually, it was right after, but it was obviously last month. Former President Trump's victory in the 2024 election on the 5th sparked optimism. So one of the most anticipated bills is the Bitcoin Act, championed by Wyoming Republican Senator Cynthia Lummis, which proposes the creation of the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve for the United States of America, making it the first nation to use it as a savings technology. Now, this is the hash war. This is the game theory. As countries are racing to adopt Bitcoin right now, word on the street, Putin, Russia, President Xi over in China, and then we also have statewide adoption in the United States. Florida, what was the story I read with you earlier? Let's see if I pull it up right here. Florida may introduce a Bitcoin reserve in 2025, leveraging a $185 billion pension fund and budget surplus to allocate billions of dollars into Bitcoin and crypto-related assets. So you already know. Now, at a state level, Dennis Porter, the head of the Satoshi Act, in which is making all these big things happen with the adoption around the world, he projects that Bitcoin will be adopted at the state level before the national level. So this is why I say the hash war. This is the game theory. There's a fight for adoption. He says unless Trump makes Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset immediately when he hits office January 20th, the states such as Texas and other states are likely to succeed first. But either way you slice it, it's going to go our way as Bitcoiners. The Bitcoin Reserve proposal is gaining significant support thanks to the Trump victory, which we know. The bipartisan support suggests the bill could be accepted during the next 4 years, hopefully sooner than later. At the federal level, the U.S. government's existing Bitcoin holdings are valued at $19 billion. That was before the recent pump that, we pumped significantly here in the past week or so, 104 being the new high. The bill is creating widespread excitement, and it could set up Bitcoin for over $1 million per coin, according to Adam Back, co-founder and CEO of Blockstream, inventor of the Hashcash, and one of the most notable cryptographers in the industry. Some people even believe that Adam Back is Satoshi. I believe he knows exactly who Satoshi is. He's probably one of the few who can say that. Now, a U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Act may pave the way for $1 million. I agree with that. Adam Back shared here, if the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve happens, prepare for 7-figure Bitcoin. He shared this back on November 18th. This cycle, notice this cycle, the market is skeptical on meaningful follow-through for now, so that is not all priced in. So he's ultimately anticipating $1 million Bitcoin if this were to happen. Now, another person added, analysts suggest it should drive the Bitcoin price to $500,000 while attracting institutional investors like pension and sovereign wealth funds, which we're witnessing, further legitimizing Bitcoin as an asset class. Consider yourself legit Bitcoin. The proposal also aligns with Trump's vision of positioning the U.S. as a global leader in crypto innovation, which you already know, family. I mean, everyone follows the United States. I lived in China in 2010 for 13 months. Even in China, they become westernized. They listen to Michael Jackson and they watch NBA. They listen to pop. They follow our pop culture. They watch all of our movies. China's been westernized. Why is that? The Western world has a lot of influence across the rest of the world, and the United States is the leader when it comes to innovation and adoption. So with Trump planting his flag, and if he actually does exactly what he promised to do, and he makes Bitcoin, makes the United States a strategic, Bitcoin reserve for whatever, the United States Treasury, and they start stockpiling the Bitcoin, and they make America the Bitcoin mining hub of the world, and they make it favorable, maybe favorable tax laws, maybe 0% capital gains tax like we just witnessed in the Czech Republic as of today for those who hodl for 3 years. This type of stuff can absolutely make this realistic. Absolutely. Just very realistically, we can very realistically 10x, 11x if all that were to happen. But you let me know your thoughts. Welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the stream. Jerome says, when states and nations buy Bitcoin, it will send the price. Agreed. The state of Wisconsin pension has already purchased well over 100 million of IBIT. That's BlackRock's. More states will follow because they are well up 50% year to date. No brainer. Game theory in full effect, Greg. Agreed. I'm late, you're early. Exactly, one or the other, or maybe a little bit of each. That's why you got to have notifications turned on. I don't always stream at the same time. Usually I'll get in a week flow and we'll be the same time all week. Then the next week it always changes. So you got to have notifications turned on, gentlemen. I am so glad Biden is leaving the U.S. Yeah, things couldn't look better right now. With the Great Reset coming 2025, how far will Bitcoin fall? Great question. 1.1 million, I am thinking Aston Martin. Hey, that's a beautiful whip. That would be insane if it hit a milli this cycle. Yeah, because here's the bigger picture. It's definitely guaranteed to hit a 1.1 million. I have no doubt in my mind. Like, I can say it with certainty. I can guarantee Bitcoin's going to hit 1.1 million just based upon what I've witnessed in the past 16 years. The US dollar is guaranteed to continue to lose purchasing power. Bitcoin's mathematically guaranteed to increase purchasing power. We will hit 1.1 million in US dollar monopoly money. It's a guarantee. The question, does that happen this cycle or next? That's the $1 million question, family. Will it happen this cycle as Adam Back and Goldman Sachs and many other major proponents are hinting? Or will it be the following cycle of 2028, 2029? You let me know your thoughts, family. Full send it. Let's go.